Hello guys, welcome to the Witness with Our Identity. This is November 30th. Today we had a very good, there was a very good debate Anna Kasparian had with John Idarola, I think. That was a pretty amazing debate. It was about cancel culture, it's pretty interesting. It's about Jordan Peterson. He wants to publish a book, and the publishing company said there are employees that say that we want to cancel him. And there was a great debate, and I want you guys to watch the video. Let's talk about it, because cancel culture is a very important thing these days. We all want to cancel each other. We don't want to hear the ideas of the other side. Only my idea should be allowed. It's some sort of a supremacist, like only my idea. When you're not a supremacist, you don't say that. You all the ideas, even if the ideas are not good for you. But I'm not saying that crazy ideas that are like dangerous to society should not be cancelled. I think those ideas should be cancelled. If it's dangerous, if it's going to cause harm, that should be cancelled. But I'm talking about ideas that are different. So look at the video, let me know what you think. Thank you.
Employees at Penguin Random House Canada aggressively pushed back against management after it was announced that they will be publishing one of Jordan Peterson's books, right? So his book, his self-help book, was published a few years ago. He's now releasing his second self-help book, which is a little ironic because he just underwent a pretty tough time with a benzo addiction. I'm not saying that to insult him. It's just strange to, on one hand, hear from his daughter and how she said that he needed to be in like a medically induced coma because of this addiction, and now all of a sudden he comes out of treatment or whatever he was doing to release a self-help book. I think that's strange. Let's give it some time, Jordan Peterson. Let's give it some time, and then maybe write a self-help book. But nonetheless, the new book is Beyond Order: More Rules for Life. And so the employees, at this publishing house were upset because they felt that it's just wrong. It's absolutely wrong to publish him because of some of the views he holds. So 4 Penguin Random House Canada employees who did not want to be named due to concerns over their employment said the company held a town hall about the book Monday, during which executives defended the decision to publish Peterson, while employees cited their concerns about platforming someone who is popular in far-right circles. Here's a quote. He's an icon of hate speech and transphobia, and the fact that he's an icon of white supremacy, regardless of the content of his book, I'm not proud to work for a company that publishes him, said a junior employee who is a member of the LGBTQ community and who attended this town hall that they had so people can kind of air their grievances and share what they thought about what's going on. One other employee told Vice, people were crying in the meeting about how Jordan Peterson, we're supposed to engage in robust debate. We're supposed to engage in an actual exchange of ideas, and we shouldn't be afraid to debate people we disagree with. Banning people from being able to publish books, I think, is the wrong way to go. And it's going to affect everyone regardless of their ideology. I don't agree with this. I think that the employees need to understand that the world is filled with people who have offensive ideologies, offensive opinions. There are people who are gonna be just flat out jerks to you. That's what real life is. And I think it's better to navigate it head on rather than immediately like cancel, call out, ban people that you simply disagree with. I get it. He said some stuff that is just disgusting. But that doesn't mean that we should be the arbiters of what book should be allowed, what publisher, or I should say, what topic should be written about. I think it's important to have the freedom to publish different ideas, and I just think this is a bad way to go.
I disagree with you in a lot of different ways. I don't necessarily disagree with them publishing the book. If a private company wants to publish a book, they can. They're certainly under no obligation, and if they choose not to, I would be more careful with their use of language. It's not banning and it's not censoring. It has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do with the First Amendment. A private company deciding not to publish something is not censoring it because they are under no obligation to provide another person with their services. They can choose to if they want to, but they're not required to. And an employee saying that they don't want to be affiliated with it, I don't think is trying to ban it or censor it either. Like,
no, they don't want the book published.
Yeah, they don't want to be involved in it.
They don't get to make that decision though. They just don't.
They get to advocate for what they want.
A junior employee at this publishing house doesn't get to tell this publishing house what they can and can't publish.
Well, you're
just like an employee here at TYT doesn't get to tell me what I'm allowed to discuss on this show. This is supposed to be a free and open place to discuss all sorts of stories, all sorts of ideas. We might have disagreements, but what makes the show valuable, what makes books valuable is that it represents different ideas, right? And you might get offended by that. But what are those employees gonna do? How are they gonna live their lives? They're gonna run around like trying to shut down any opinion they disagree with?
I think they're expressing their opinions. I think us saying they shouldn't express their opinions could arguably be described in the way you just described theirs.
But I think it's wrong to basically say, no, you shouldn't publish this person because I don't like their ideas.
I think there are a million different people that they could choose to publish if they wanted to. They make decisions about who they want to publish. People like Jordan Peterson have published multiple books, and he will find a venue for his books to be published. Plenty of people never get the opportunity to publish a book. Are they being effectively censored because Penguin or some other company doesn't come and say, hey, what's your perspective? I think you get to advocate for what you want in the same way that, by the way, we do have disagreements on the show. We're literally in the middle of one right now. But if Cenk was like, oh, by the way, we want to have more difference of opinion, so we're going to give Alex Jones an hour weekly show, we would advocate for him to not do that.
Yeah, but there's a difference
because we don't want to be
Alex
affiliated
Jones
with it.
And
Sure,
like Jordan
I'm sure that there is.
Alex
I honestly
Jones
don't know
says
much about Jordan
crazy
Peterson.
things that it literally incites violence, right? You're
That's
talking
fair.
about
That's
inciting
fair.
violence, that's different. Jordan Peterson is just wrong, right? And he holds these beliefs. Like the fact that Jordan Peterson is so easily triggered by just simply respecting people and referring to them by their preferred pronoun, we should mock him for that, right? We should engage in debate and basically make it abundantly clear how pathetic he is as a person, that is the issue that he's decided to latch onto.
Sure, yeah,
right?
I agree.
So, but I don't, because here's the thing, people hate slippery slope arguments, I don't care. This is a slippery slope. Because if you have people who simply want to ban publishing certain books because it offends them, how far is it going to go? Because I know right after the 2016 election, when the student body of a university at Colorado voted overwhelmingly to have me speak on their campus for their diversity week, the school board, which was full of Trump supporters, looked at a video of me on election night where I was clearly upset, right? And they basically said, well, since she said these comments about Donald Trump and we're Trump supporters, we're gonna go ahead and veto what the student body overwhelmingly voted in favor of. I think that's wrong. And not just wrong because it only affects me in that case. I think it's wrong when it happens in any context because you don't want these small groups of people in positions of power to be the arbiters of what is or is not allowed in our debates, in our discourse.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they are arbiters. Penguin isn't offering me a book. They're not offering you a book. They make decisions with their limited resources of where to put that.
I get that. What Penguin did here is they looked at how much money was made through Jordan Peterson's first book, and they made a business decision. Like, understand
Which, again, they can do.
Right.
They can publish the book. But if you're an employee and you have an issue with it, I also am in more favor of employees having more control and input into how corporations function. So having a town hall where they express themselves, I support it when it's Facebook employees grilling Mark Zuckerberg. I support it in this case. It doesn't mean they get to decide. It doesn't mean that everything is immediately democracy because we, in terms of how we set up our economy, we don't have that sort of workplace democracy. But I'm not against them expressing it, and I don't think it's the same as banning or censorship. This isn't the government. This is a private corporation.
I know, but I think that argument, I'm just gonna be honest with you, John, and it's nothing against you specifically because I've heard this argument uttered by so many different people and they're not understand. Yes, you're not constitutionally, this is not a constitutional issue, right? Private companies can make these decisions for themselves. But I do think that it's problematic when you have like politically driven efforts, even within a private company, to ban certain thoughts, certain ideas from being published. And while you might think it's okay when it deals with someone that you disagree with, you're not gonna like it when they refuse to publish someone on the left.
Well, they are refusing to publish someone on the left, me. They're not publishing me.
Okay, where's your book proposal, John? Did you go to Penguin with the book proposal?
Should I?
Do it, yeah.
Okay,
and
maybe I will.
If there is like some sort of uprising within the publisher and they say, no, we're not gonna do it because we don't wanna be associated with leftists, I'll come back on the show and I'll say the exact same things that I said in regard to Jordan Peterson.
To make myself look like a victim. No, what I'm saying is that
I don't like the culture, and they don't even realize they're doing it, right? But this culture of like not allowing people, like I have to think about everything I say, because even with the best intentions, if I say something a little wrong and I offend someone, then you're having discussions about like, oh no, you can't have that kind of debate on the show because that kind of debate makes people offended. Well, then welcome to the real world. People get offended. People say offensive things. People disagree with one another. But you gotta have an opportunity to talk those things out.
Like you were saying we should debate people,
John,
but you're saying they should be silent.
If the employees simply said, you know, we really disagree with this decision, let's talk it out, we wish you guys hadn't have done this, it's one thing. But here they're like, you shouldn't have published the book.
Well, I wasn't at the town hall. I don't know what the bulk of the things they were saying is.
People were crying in the meeting about how Jordan Peterson has affected their lives.
But again, sure, and maybe the way that you describe it is true. I don't know. I wasn't there. Again, I don't really know anything about Jordan Peterson even. Like I really don't care about him personally.
He's an asshole. Like there's no question about it, right? And he's really fun to make fun of. Michael Brooks did the best job in mimicking him and making fun of him. But that's how you win, by really revealing how pathetic he is. But what you do here is you turn him into a victim, and he shouldn't be in a position of victimhood, right? But that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna, like this kind of publicity is almost so good that I feel like the PR department at Penguin Random House like orchestrated this. Like it's just completely manufactured.
Maybe.
That's how good the marketing is. I just want people to understand, crying about opinions you disagree with will get you nowhere. But being willing to tackle those ideas and debunk them head on is more effective. Don't make Jordan Peterson a victim, because that's exactly what he's gonna do. That's what.
No, he's gonna do it anyway.
That's what Dave Rubin's entire career
is gonna pretend that they were burning his book, no matter, even if nobody cared, he's gonna pretend. So I get your point, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong. But they're gonna say that they're a victim no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the debate was pretty good between John Idarola and the other and Kasparian, and I like it because those are things we need to talk about more in our society these days, guys. Because there's a cancel culture going on right now. It's pretty intense. Like you're not allowed to say this, you're not allowed to say that. Like I think Jordan Peterson had something to do with the transgender. He wanted to name them. He doesn't like the pronoun. But like the people on the left are saying, nah, yo, why are you making this a big deal? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And Jordan Peterson said that they want to enforce this, they want to enforce that, so he's against that. So, but like, hey, for me, the way I look at it is like, like I think Kasparian had the right idea. I think she's definitely right about this, because you should allow ideas to come even if they're not comfortable. You can say you disagree with the ideas. There's one thing to say you disagree, and another thing to say another thing that say that you want the person cancel. The person cancel, you trying to hit the person packet. You disagree, you're not hitting the person packet. You're saying I disagree. That's it. It ends there. Now, of course, Jordan Peterson can go to another publisher, but still, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to say that I disagree. But John Idarola is basically saying no, but like that is disagreement. When I'm saying that I want to have you cancel, that is my disagreement. But I guess Kasparian is saying that no, that's another sort of disagreement. This is like a total cancellation. It's like I want you cancel. I want not to publish your book. And I think Anna is right. I think we should allow the ideas to come in. Some people are not going to agree with some of the transgender things, some of the stuff. That doesn't mean that we should not hear them out. And me, I understand. I'm okay with the transgender, but I'm okay with the homosexuality. But Jordan Peterson has many other ideas about being a conservative. He has many ideas about abortion. And we should allow those ideas. We should listen carefully to those ideas. What is he saying? You know what I'm saying? So that we can have a debate about it. And that I like Kasparian in that way, because canceling is kind of coward. You canceling, you don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I want to face it head on. I want to hear what you're gonna say, and I'm gonna stand up to you. And I think Anna is totally right about this. I give Anna a lot of credit for this. So that's where everything stands for me right now, like, guys. So we shouldn't be canceling everybody, guys. No, let's not cancel everybody. Let's talk it out, guys. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you. But I want to know, press the like button if you like that debate. That debate was pretty substantive. I mean, so substantial. It was a very substantial debate. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.